Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about expressing complaint and disappointment. In our video today, we're going to concentrate on the basic topics, on the basic things we discuss in class. Now, we started with a question. Do you get annoyed very easily? Get annoyed means do you get angry easily? Now, here we have some questions or some examples of sentences, that we can use in order to express complaint. I'm going to read some of them. The idea is that you practice these sentences, okay? Read them aloud, out loud and record yourself. Remember, this is the basic exercise that we normally have for speaking. So I will give you the first example. I can't stand it when a child screams in a restaurant. Be careful with intonations, the linkings. Remember, we always discuss that. Stand it, buena, ina. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. I can't stand it when a child screams in a restaurant. And restaurant. You see the intonation? I'm going with the second one. I don't like it when a cell phone rings in the classroom. Once again, notice the linking. I don't like it when a cell phone, okay, rings in the classroom. Remember that when you link, you can produce or you can express more fluently, okay? Then the next one, it bothers me when a teacher forgets my name. And the next one, I hate it when people talk with their mouth full. Okay, so here we have some examples of complaints. Remember, to practice the sentence, use the, try to use the linkings. That is really, really important. Okay, and let's talk about the structure for these sentences. Okay, so the basic structure is that we can start with affirmative sentences like I like it, I love it. Okay, affirmative sentences. Okay, it means that you're talking about something that really likes you. And notice that immediately we have the clause starting with the adverb when. I like it when a teacher helped me, when a teacher is helpful and supportive. Notice that at the beginning when I use I like it or I love it, always with it at the end, okay? It doesn't matter if it is affirmative sentence or negative. And then we start with the pronoun when, okay? Then we have the subject. What are you talking about? The teacher. What you're talking about? A friend, a child. Okay. And then you give the verb. And notice that the verb is in present. Why? In present, because it is something that always happens in the same way. You're talking about your likes in this moment, right? Or your dislikes. So I like it when a teacher is helpful and supportive. In negative form, I don't mind it. We continue here. Sorry. I don't mind it when a friend visits without calling. I can't stand it. It's a negative sentence, right? Because you say I hate it. It's almost the same, right? Okay, sorry, we continue. And okay, we can continue. And here, remember that I was mentioning that we can use it in a negative way. For example, I don't mind it. It means I don't care. I can't stand it. I can't tolerate that. I mean, I hate it. I can't stand it. And then remember when in the middle after the pronoun it. Okay. Then after that, you have your subject, in this case, where you're talking about a child. What is the activity the child performs? Screams. and then the complement in a restaurant. Or notice an affirmative. It makes me happy. In this case, it is at the beginning because you're talking about a situation. Okay. So the situation is substituted by it. The situation, the moment, you see, the time. So the situation that makes me happy, the moment or the thing that makes me happy, you see? So you can use it. It makes me happy when, and you mention subject, verb, complement. So it makes me happy when people do nice things for no reason. Or something that expresses a negative statement is it bothers me or it upsets me. It is that you don't like that. All right. It's negative. It makes me angry. It makes me upset. Okay. So it bothers me when my doctor arrives late for an appointment. So once again, the connector, once again, the subject, the verb in present, and the complement. It upsets me. Notice the linking when you pronounce it. It upsets me when a close friend, that is my subject, forgets the verb in present, and then you have the complement. So this is the basic structure to indicate when something bothers you, when something makes you happy, when something upsets you. Okay? Remember that something that is neutral in this case is the use of I don't mind it. Okay? It means that no problem for you. There is no problem with that. All right? Well, fantastic. This is the structure that we are using, okay, at the moment of expressing our complaints, also disappointment about something. And for this lesson, or for this week, we're going to prepare a special activity, which is a letter of complaint. I am going to give you some important tips in order to make a letter of complaint. You know what the steps of the letter is. You practiced that before. Okay, the heading, the salutation is really important. Okay, the salutation, dear sir, dear madam, or you mentioned the name of the person with the title, right? Dear doctor, dear, okay. To the point, okay? At the very beginning, you can see here in yellow, you have to explain the complaint, okay? But you have to explain what the complaint is. And then you can express how it affects you, okay? The way it affects you or people around you, okay? Uh, that those are the two important aspects that you have to include. Make the complaint and explain why it affects. Why is it something wrong? Okay, remember that most of the time we write complaints to companies who offer some service, who sell things. Okay, and then, well, it's important to use adjectives. We have studied how to express your feelings, your emotions. So here we have an opportunity to do that as well. Try to use connectors. Why connectors? Connectors when you want to explain that there are two or three situations or that something happened first, then another situation occurred. So you're going to mention a chronological order. So you have to use connectors such as first of all, secondly, thirdly, then, later. Okay? It's not just putting sentences and sentences together or creating paragraph. Okay? No, the idea is that you can introduce them by using the appropriate connector. When you use passive voice and reported speech, why? Well, it's normally used to explain what happened to you, okay? Or to describe information that appear, for example, in an advertisement, on a website, on a brochure, in Instagram, for example, you saw something in Instagram, they were offering some kind of clothes, and then when you receive the clothes, it's not the same thing. So you say, okay, so for these sentences, it's better to use passive voice and reported speech that you already used or practiced, okay, in previous levels, all right? And now, when you close your letter, you have to explain what you expect. This is really, really important, okay? what is the result or what are you asking for? So remember, headings, okay? Salutation, that would be second important thing in your letter. Then go to the point, okay? Explain the problem, the situation, the issue, okay? Then explain why this situation affects you or how this situation affects you. Remember that in here, you can include emotions, you can use passive voice or reported speech to indicate what was happening, and the result, how you expect to find out the solution for this. Obviously, as all letters, you close, okay? You're closing at the end and your salutation at the end, okay? So these are the essential things we're going to check in our letter. The letter, it's better to do it in handwriting, but just to be sure that there is no problem with the type of letter we use, so I will accept print. I will accept you to print your letter, okay? But you have to take it to class, all right? I will check it in class. Remember that I will be considering grammar aspects. I will be considering uh, punctuation. I will be considering capitalization, okay? Spelling, and if you're including the six aspects that we have in here, okay? Well, this is all for this week. I hope you have enjoyed this. Keep working and see you later.